Next favorite thing. Good. Well, let's try this up again. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Intentional Bonus Mom. Today, I wanted to talk about why I'm harder on my siblings than my stepkids. So, let's start from the beginning. For me, being a stepmom, the way I came in, it was kind of like hard and, like, oh, let's change this and change that, and let's make sure you eat your fruits and vegetables. And then as time went on, it was kind of like, the fight's not worth it. Let's just let it go. Well, with my siblings, we've always been there. Like, their whole life, I've, been there. And so I can be harder on them. Whether it's schoolwork, excuse me, I just woke up. Whether it's schoolwork, whether it's behavior, whether it's their eating, any of that. I think as a base with a sibling, especially in my case where I am a lot older than the younger two siblings. I was 13 and 15 when Jake and Zoe were born, and so I kind of came at it as like another mom. And so as much as I am a sister, I also kind of feel like sometimes I felt like a mom or a second mom in the situation. And so I am harder on them than I would say my stepkids. One, there is, because we were siblings, we were raised together, so we were raised with the same parents. Did my parents become a lot more lenient with them? Heck yeah. Us older four, oh my gosh. Number two, I feel like as siblings, you're more forgiven for messing up, making the wrong decisions, just anything and everything that happens. They love you unconditionally because you are their sibling, and they're a lot more forgiving. Where I feel like with stepchildren, they kind of come in the awkward position and they're not so forgiving, because it's like you're an adult and you're gonna mess up, and you are, but they seem to always remember that, and I feel like they aren't as forgiving. Number two, I guess number three, when it comes to my siblings, there's a lot stronger of a bond there. And so with them, they understand that I am doing it out of love and that I want what's best for them. And so whether it's not eating their vegetables at my house, you're going to eat them, or you're going to eat a different vegetable. So when they were really young, when they came to my house, they were required to eat dinner. I didn't make things that were like super gross or anything. But they were required to eat dinner. If they balked about dinner or didn't eat it, then they had to eat 5 different kinds of vegetables. It, in a way, was using vegetables as a bad thing, although I didn't, now looking back, I'm like, oh, it probably wasn't the best thing. But it also taught them to eat their vegetables and to eat dinner. It's one of those things, there's a difference between kids being full and kids just not eating it because it's not what they want. And that was more of the battle. But also with Jake and Zoe, they did really good with eating the vegetables and stuff. I think it was also easier because it was a sister and not a parent kind of coming at them. It was kind of like, okay, I could do the same thing that my parents did, and it was better received than if my parents did it. Also with, where stepkids are just like, oh, you remember when she did this? You remember when she did that? It's that forever they have a mom and a dad. And with that said, they have a mom and a dad. And so if mom and dad are not hard on them, or they're not, you feel like, maybe they're scared of the kids, or scared to discipline the kids, or they're, they don't want to rock the boat necessarily, then there's no point in you trying to be the disciplinarian, or you trying to hold certain amount of rules or anything, because it's just going to hurt your relationship with them even more. And there's times where I have really looked at it and said, you know what, I'm stepping back, because if the parents are either okay with it, or the parents are not doing anything to change it, or they don't see it as a problem, then it's not me to, I'm not stressing or worrying about it. I am the stepmom, I'm not the mom. You know what? It's fine. So things like vegetables and behavior, I will immediately say something though, be like, hey, you need to cut it out. Because they are not little bitty kids anymore. They are old enough to get that, like, quick reminder, like, hey, your attitude sucks right now. So people say that I'm too harsh that way, and that's not going to change. Like, if you got a bad attitude and you're with me, I'm going to tell you, cut the attitude, or you're done. Like, there's certain points of my personality that I will honestly probably never change. But yeah, I am a lot harder when it comes to, their consequences, when it comes to their eating habits, when it comes to their behavior. I'm a lot quicker in, like, and a lot harder on them. I know that they're great kids. I know that all of them are great kids. I know that all of them are loved so much by so many people in their lives, and we're all trying to guide them. And I think siblings are more forgiving, and so therefore I can be a little harsh on them. I can be like, hey, you know what, that wasn't cool, or the attitude needs to stop, or you need to really get on the ball. Like, I'm not kidding. And so they have learned that there's consequences, and they are a lot more forgiving than, say, they probably would, like, if they were just kids that I randomly met. So that's basically my video for today. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. If you have any comments or questions or concerns, please link them down below. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye!